Everyone, welcome back to another process video in my Tuesday morning haul to kit to create series. Notice how I did not, it's no longer a tongue twister, but anyways, if you are new to my channel, excuse me, and you are wondering what is Tuesday morning haul to kit to create, well, it is just that, where I take my Tuesday morning finds, find some items that inspire me, and then I take my stash and build a kit with it, and then create a couple of process videos for you guys. So what inspired me in one of my hauls was this My Mind's Eye Blast Off. Now it is a very themed collection. It was a mini collection. It came with only 5 pattern papers and 1 cardstock sticker sheet. I did buy separately some puppy stickers, and I'll link that below at the end of the video so that way you can actually watch that haul if you missed it. But like I said, it's very themed, and I have absolutely zero, yes, you did hear that correctly, 0 photos that has to do with space. My son was never an astronaut for Halloween, so I had to get a little creative and kind of play off some titles that you probably have seen, or some quotes that all have to do with space or the moon or planets or anything like that. So after I got done building making my homemade kit, I then drew a couple of sketches. Now I don't have them here for you to see. They're just very roughly where I took a pencil and just kind of had some ideas of where I'd want to place the paper, and that is it. Now off camera, a lot of times I do kind of push around paper for a while, and I don't do it so much on camera, and that is because you would get very bored so quickly. But moving on, in that sketch I did go with the very first sketch that I sketched out, and that is where I was going to cut down the pattern paper that you see with all the planets, because I didn't want it to be a full 12 by 12. I felt like it was too much. It would be too busy of a background paper, at least for me with this photo that I'm working on. And then I had my white cardstock at the bottom. Now I know the rule of thirds where you cut it in 3s, but I decided that when I looked at it and just kind of covered part of it up to where it was only just a third of that pattern paper, that it wasn't enough and it kind of looked just out of place. And then when I did 2/3, I was like, ooh, that's too much, and now the white cardstock looks out of place. So for me, I kind of throw the rules out the window. I think you all know that. And that's when I just had it set, I cut to only 7 inches, and that was perfect. It was enough balance between the white paper and the pattern paper, because I definitely wanted a lot of that pattern paper to show. Now I don't use washi tape. I instead use what I have, and that is just branding strips, and that was just from a 6x6 paper pad. I just cut out where the hole was from the paper pad and then tucked it under, so you will never know that that's not one long continuous strip. And I like to do that because to me it gives a finishing look, so there's no seam. And then I moved on to the title area, and I knew I wanted to have a home for it, so I just took another piece from the Cool Kid paper pad, cut a square, and then that's where I was going to place the title. Now, before all this, I was, like I said, I kind of play around with things before I start filming. I was playing around with the title, and I didn't know what letter stickers I was going to use, so I put You Reached with a couple of different fonts on wax paper. Well, days had passed and I hadn't scrapbooked, and I thought for some reason that I had done the whole title. So you're going to watch me make a few mistakes here, and that is you're going to see You Reached Stars. Now I don't even notice this yet. So I'm continuing on. I've layered the photo with a couple of different pattern papers that I had in my stash just from Studio Calico. And then I felt like everything was looking too blocky, so I felt like all circular shapes were up above, and then everything below that, it was just looking very square. So in order to soften that up, I decided to take some label stickers, and I realized that the colors I wanted to use, I had already used the sticker, but the outline was still there. Now I've done this before where I actually cut around it, so it's basically I'm getting 2 stickers out of 1. And I really like that, and I love doing the little peekaboo effect with different patterns that are underneath that paper. So I'm going to go ahead and place those down. Now again, I have no idea that I only have part of the title. Ay, 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 Desiree. That's what happens. But moving on, when I finally decided that those were the letter stickers I was going to use, I know that I'm using cream and I have white cardstock. In order to do that, I'm going to offer balance. And no, I still do not know that the title is wrong. I'm like loving it. I'm like, yes, everything's going good, guys. Look at the title. Doesn't it look amazing? Let's add some ink splatters. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Anyways, so in order to balance the cream and the white cardstock, I definitely have to add some more cream stickers. So I did find some other October Afternoon. It was one of their space collections. I only have just the sticker sheet, which are the label stickers, so I don't even know the name of that collection, but I did add it underneath the stars, or the word stars. And I'm just trying to add lots and lots of layers. Sometimes layers will go very smooth for me, and other times I have a really hard time, and then my pages are very clean, very minimal. But I love, love, love when I see tons of layers. I just think it looks visually interesting, and I feel like I'm definitely getting a lot of use out of my products if I can put more and more on a page. So there are those puppy stickers. I wanted to add these spaceships up above. And I was just kind of messing around with them because I felt like everything was looking flat. Yes, I did add a chipboard piece, which that says Best Kid, and that was also from Cool Kids. But I still needed some more up on top, like where it had more dimension, so that's when I added the puppy stickers. Now I did remove a lot of layers from that chipboard piece. It kind of, I know, sorry, there's someone driving by. I know that kind of you might ask, like, why are you removing it if you like the whole dimension? I feel sometimes that chipboard can be really thick sometimes when depending on the manufacturer, so I definitely remove at least half of the layers of chipboard underneath the sticker. Now I'm moving on to the Freckled Fawn. I'm just again trying to add more stuff, have more layers going on, and I found this puppy stickers from the Freckled Fawn, and I've talked about this in the past where the stickers sometimes that I decide to use might not relate to the photo or even just the pattern paper in general, but that is because it might not have meaning to the person who's looking at it that doesn't know my son, but it has meaning to me. So the 10 is representing that my son is 10 years old in this picture. The other the word awesome is because he is one awesome kid. And then the other one is music notes. That shows that he absolutely loves music. Now a little bit of background of the story of this photograph, because I know that there is a piece of tape covering up something that he's holding, and it is an award that he got that shows the name of his school and his last name. So for, you know, security reasons, I definitely covered that up. But this day he earned honor roll. Now, if you know me or if you follow me on Facebook, you know that academics is very hard for my son. My son has always struggled even since kinder. Now this is where I made the mistake on title, so I am going to fix it, but I'm going to go back to talking about the story of this photo. Anyways, and you know, we work really hard with him every night, and it's just a struggle for him, and his teachers know. So you can imagine the surprise when his teacher, who in this photo is my favorite teacher. He is just a great role model, so supportive, and just so good with kids. And he said, Desiree, he earned honor roll his first trimester of 4th grade. We were over the moon. Like, we were so proud of him. He was proud of himself. That's all he's ever wanted was, Mom, my friends always get it every trimester, and I just want to stand up there one time. And I always tell him, you know what, honey? Honor roll does not matter to us. We just want to make sure that you at least understand your homework. So I don't care about honor roll as long as you understand what, you know, the work that you're doing. So that's the story of this photo, is just him showing or holding up his award, and that is when I came up with the title, and kind of with the whole play of stars is that you reached for the stars. He reached for something that he thought was never going to be possible, and he did it, and he got it. Now, it was just the one time, but you know what? That day, even though he's only got it once, he is still so proud. And yes, he still struggles, and there's times where he, you know, wants to cry, but for the most part, he is proud that he got it that one time he achieved it. So he knows now that anything is possible. All right, everybody, so I'm just going to finish this off with some more stars because of the whole theme with You Reach for the Stars. I just wanted to add more because more is more for me. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add or go back to the sticker sheet that came with this collection. And there was a couple of shooting stars that I wanted to add. One is going to go up in the space and the other one is going to go by the title. And then I am going to add one other one because I felt like the whole shooting star and the one that has a moon that says over the moon, because we were over the moon when we got that email. I did want to add that as well because, again, I just felt like it represented everything that had to do with the story of this photo and that day. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Actually, no, I have a whole nother minute. Now, I got to talk to you about one other thing that was a little oopsie. When I was doing the ink splatters, I actually walked away from it and came back to it. And do you notice the smear marks on the bottom? I tested a couple. They were showing me that, I noticed that they were dry. As I was laying everything down or trying to fix the title, I smeared it all over. So at first I was like, I've learned to let things go, that, you know, instead of being such a perfectionist, because this is handmade, so there are going to be those little imperfections. And then I was like trying to talk myself into, well, it's kind of like a shooting star does, right? Well, in order to cover that up, I am going to have a pretty detailed story. So this journaling is going to take me a while to complete, so you will not see it in the photos. But most of that is going to be covered up, which any mistake can always be covered up when it comes to scrapbooking. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you over here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And you all have an amazing day. Bye.